in many ways in the college game, but Connecticut has some guys who can shoot it. And there's our good look at Shonn Miller. That's what he does so well, stepping into the passing lane.
The offensive player as he makes a drive to the basket.
Garrett Beal, number 55, is checked in, and he's dunked on by Shonn Miller right on cue.
If you want to secure the rebound.
That's Garrett Beal, and he has it rejected away. Oh my! Shonn Miller coming flying in, and man, was he above the rim. Holy cow, that brought the Campo Pavilion crowd to its feet.
Well, where do you put the stops on UConn's front line? If you stop Hamilton, you contest him, make him take a quick shot transition. Here's the dribble handoff by Adams, the push point, but they've got you in transition, they've got you spread out there, they don't match up, and in comes the high-flying act, the fifth-year man who can finish at the rim.
Eke trying to shoot it over Prime. I'm not sure that's the best decision.
A little too quick and a little unfortunate for Maine, because that's what happens when you take quick, ill-advised shots. Extending the pressure, a little 2-2-1, doing some trapping and attack.
Oh, Sterling Gibbs putting it up for Shonn Miller. Three defenders coming over to alter the shot.
Now, Beal is known as a shooter, and that's what Maine needs. They're going to need him to knock down shots this year.
What a feed from Sterling Gibbs to Shonn Miller. Off the miss from Little. Here comes Purvis pushing the tempo again. And boy, Shonn Miller, he is a highlight reel all to himself. For that game on Wednesday, part of the battle for Atlantis as they'll take on Michigan, and Shonn Miller just rising up over the defense. And
not taking advantage. Just quick, too quick on the offensive end.
Daniel Hamilton to Shonn Miller. That's getting it done pretty easily.
Davis just made a superb move at the end of the clock.
There's Shonn Miller from the right side. But Prime, a good job to keep that alive. And a beautiful feed inside, Rodney Purvis. That's his first field goal. He's got 3 points as the lead is at 15, and right back the other way, Shonn Miller said why. So they start to get into December and things pick up a little bit. Daniel Hamilton doing what he does so well, putting it up there for Shonn Miller.
Getting to the NCAA tournament, then you bring everybody back, and you find a guy like Rafferty to add to the mix. We've got something in that league, and we've showed a lot of spunk here today, but Connecticut just has too many answers. And
fall away three-pointer. Down low, Miller. Nice move in the lane and puts it through. Albrecht guarding Adams. Pass goes low, Miller. Fades and hits, Shonn Miller.
How good is that?
Stolen away by Walton, running with numbers. Nice pass over to Dawkins, it's blocked.
Well, Miller was at Cornell. He led the team in points, rebounds, steals, and blocks. 6th in the country in defensive rebounding.
Nice pass inside, Miller finishes it off.
UConn will move different people in the middle. Shonn Miller very good there, and he never turns it over.
And that's going to count. Fresh opportunity. Hamilton lobs it up for Miller. Hamilton runs it down again, lobs it up again, and this time it'll work.
In front of Tyler Lydon. Nice pass.
And Lydon had it swatted away from behind by Miller. And to just let it go.
Exactly.
Shonn Miller over Wiltshire to tie the game.
Alex Poitras at the Champions Classic got his teeth caught in the net. You tend to think of Gonzaga as an offensive team. They're really good defensively. Really good.
Miller, tough reverse. Got it. Gibbs, nice look. Miller with a finish.
Gonzaga's gone cold from the perimeter. Silas Melson hasn't been touching the ball.
Miller with a finish in traffic.
Shonn Miller's done such a nice job on the defensive end. He deserved that one.
Miller from Jalen Adams. It's a 2-point game. Adams into Miller. Miller over Karnowski. It's a 1-point game.
Big rejection inside. Shonn Miller. We thought it was something Connecticut was going to be better at this year as Shonn Miller goes to work in the lane. They need to see more of that from the graduate transfer.
Free lane to the rim without Amita Brahma in the game.
Hamilton, up fake, nice feed to Miller inside. Rebound, looking to push the tempo once again. Hamilton spinning, handing off for Miller, who finishes inside. And we've spoken with Kevin, and we did again today as Miller is wide open for the easy dunk.
I knew right away this kid was going to be special. Has such a great feel for the game.
Purvis drives into traffic and gets it off to Miller.
Very physical around the basket.
Hamilton's floater no good, but sneaking in.
A little bit surprised that Amita Brahma's been kind of ineffective at both ends of the floor.
Oh, nice job. You know, they are starting to get much more aggressive. Miller that time, and players don't often get away with putting it on the floor like that. Shonn Miller.
He can shoot the rock, John.
Stone muscles his way in and has it swatted out of there by Miller.
A few games from our way, they're going to get better and better. Triple and sew them out together. Nice pass.
Terrific pass underneath, and the finish by Miller.
Sterling Gibbs down to the block for Shonn Miller. The transfer from Cornell. And that's the response that Kevin Ollie wanted from his UConn team early. 4-0.
How about this kid?
Daniel Gibbs missed the last two, so back in the lineup for the Buckeyes. And there's Shonn Miller. Kevin Ollie was there to greet Shonn Miller when they came out of halftime locker room, pounding his chest, saying, "Keep at it." Purvis to Miller. That's a response from
That sure was.
And here's the point forward. Daniel Hamilton sending it up for Miller. First bucket of the game. Jahad Thomas, leading scorer, giving it up for Isaac White. Sterling Gibbs working in traffic, and there's Miller again. And Miller getting it done on the defensive end as well. UConn shooting about 77% here in the first half. Look at Miller owning the offensive glass. Shonn Miller rising up. Hamilton. And there's Miller off the pass from Omar Calhoun, emanating from our New York studios. 5 minutes to go. There's Miller off the deflection.
He's made a seamless transition to coaching. Terrific communicator. These kids play for him.
And nailing the three is Miller. Hamilton with the spinorama, then dumps it down, but Facey couldn't field it cleanly.
He's had that same problem.
The steal by Gibbs. Pretty feed. Miller to Hamilton, back to Miller. Under Jim Calhoun at Northeastern, and this is Glenn's second tour of duty on the UConn staff. Larry Brown serving his 9-game suspension at the beginning of the season. And on the bench.
Right now, he's got to look at these other three post players saying, who's going to step up and earn an opportunity to get some of those minutes? Yeah. Complete class. And they've got Terry Larrier, transfer from VCU, sitting out as well.
With his first three-pointer of the season, had only taken 3 others. And Miller, just everything is falling. 23 points. Winning a national championship in his second year. He won't turn 43 until this Sunday.
And then Adams with that floater. Rebound Miller and the putback.
Some of his best basketball.
Miller with that quickness advantage against Lambert, but the shot blocked. And then Miller there for the putback and the foul.
Is it me, John, or is it quiet in here?
Right now.
You know? Texas with a 1-point lead, but it is quiet.
Miller steps out and hits.
If you're, these kids want to thrive off the energy of the building.
Oh! Shonn Miller.
Now this is that athleticism we talked about. Former all-Ivy League player. Comes up with that finish. Nice soft floater by Jalen Adams. That lets that ball kiss up on the rim and allows Miller to time it.
And he's guarding Miller, who flips it up and in. Shonn Miller with a dozen.
Sophomore who's 5th in the conference and first in assists. The alley-oop. Shonn Miller throws it down.
Only true senior on the team, so he's got to play well for them to have any chance this evening.
They left Shonn Miller all alone.
First 4 or 5 minutes of the second half is key in any game now. Who's going to grab the game by the throat?
UConn started the first half with Shonn Miller. Huskies start the second half with Shonn Miller.
Game gets away from us.
You see, we're never sure when those 3 or 4 minutes are going to come. That's always the problem. Miller left alone for 3.
8 to shoot for Gibbs. Puts it on the floor. Goes to the hoop. Short with the shot. Miller cleans it up inside. Miller. And the foul. From deep, that's 7th in the American Conference. Miller turnaround jumper from 12 feet is good. They don't get it. Coleman still has it. And he is slotted by Miller.
I'd like to see Coleman just slow down a little bit. They're lucky they still have that ball.
Well, Miller, in addition to being a good rebounder, is a good defender.
Well, this guy's one of the top coaches in America, and everybody looks up to him. He's that kind of guy. He's been that kind of coach in his career.
Here's the freshman Adams. Back out Miller. And Miller's got a dozen. Miller attacks, and he's got 14 points. Hamilton. Nice pass to Miller. And the foul. Oh, it's Miller time in Hartford.
How athletic was that? It was a terrific pass by Hamilton there, but what a finish by Shonn Miller.
And national title winning head coach.
You know what I like best about him? Whether he was coaching, that's a nice face-up jumper by Shonn Miller.
Crawford turned away.
Missing its last 8 shots. That's a high percentage look. Burrell out of bounds. Tiger basketball.
For 8. I mean, he makes a terrific cut. The pass is on point, but how about the reaction of Shonn Miller, who's right now checking Dedrick Lawson to have the presence of mind to still come over and help?
Hamilton with a lob. Oh, Miller with the move.
Hamilton looking to create. Instead gives it up. Shonn Miller, a 3. Good to open the scoring tonight. Hamilton stops, gives it to the corner. Miller.
Tulsa's gone to a zone right now.
Miller shoots over. Here's Gibbs again. Miller. He has hit 3 threes tonight. Spinning Hamilton, dumps it off, and the jam by Shonn Miller.
Miller takes it, but he faces up. So now Miller spinning in the paint. Floats it in to give the Huskies a 5-point edge. Miller finds Nolan inside. Back to Miller. Huskies go inside on the first possession of the second half. Miller begins the drought. Houston was 2 for its last 10 since that runner from Robinson.
At that time they had to move the defense a little bit before you attack.
Miller baseline. And 1:09 left. The Huskies trying to close it out. Battle Hamilton to Miller. A double-digit lead for the first time today for UConn.
That's a great win for UConn. In the back, as you mentioned, Clark, down 7 at the half. Things weren't going well. They dug down.
That's a 2 off the front of the rim, and Hamilton pushes it up ahead to Purvis. Purvis back to Miller, and the jam, and 1. Great feed from Purvis, and Miller with the finish. He'll shoot when we come back. Daniel Hamilton looking good in the open floor to Purvis, over to Miller, and the Huskies have a 2-point lead. That you mentioned tied a school record for Tulane back on January the 2nd. Miller, and the foul. All UConn so far.
You sound like a coach. You're 100% right. The guys right in their face. They're not even close.
Miller from Hamilton. John Rothstein keeps a very close list of transfers. He's got it all.
He's amazing. No, he's.
And UConn's gone cold.
UConn, be patient.
Miller, tough shot, gets the roll, and a dozen for Shonn Miller.
18-point deficit, as you mentioned before. You got the lead.
Miller. He's got 14 in the American.
Around 5 days, it feels like 5 weeks sometimes. Forever.
Miller still has the hot hand, though. He's got 18.
To man, but they're back to a man-to-man look right now defensively. I like the way they're switching defenses.
It goes down.
Or changing their defenses. If I were coaching and had a team, I would do the same exact thing almost every time down.
The lob, Miller. Oh, acrobatic play off the window and a chance at a three-point play. They've gone 7-2 without Amita Brima. Shot clock down to 8. Ball fake. Miller got contact, and he scores on the interior. Where will UConn get its offense from? Is it Miller? Body bump. The shake, the deuce. There's Hamilton looking down low for Miller. A discard. Miller off the glass and in. Shonn Miller converts.
Now turned into instant offense off the bench that he's lost his starting job. Hamilton, great lob and the jam by Shonn Miller. War of defense. Both of these teams can really play. Oh, what a pass! What a jam! Beautiful feed from Hamilton to Shonn Miller.
Being integral in this game. Take a look at this alley-oop. The finish by Shonn Miller.
Woo! What you do when you're second in the conference in assists. Last year's Conference Defensive Player of the Year. What's going to happen to them then? And Shonn Miller. Evans on the run. Into the lane against Hamilton. No. Tied at 46. Clark, nice pass. And then Ellis rejected from behind. That's going to be a jump ball.
Upper echelon of that Big Ten.
Gibbs had to force it, but the follow by Shonn Miller.
And sometimes it's overdone, though. I've seen guys drive to the basket, have layups.
Miller, circus shot inside.
The starting lineup today. Here's Henriquez, the sophomore sharpshooter. Shaheed Davis had that shot blocked by Miller. Oh, back iron miss. Spacey. Good position. Challenges McBride with a rejection, but Miller cleans it up. Miller. Great for Cornell in the iron. They've been doing things in the American as well for UConn. Here, Bob. 10 seconds in the half. Here's Adams. Lobbing. Finish for Miller. Up and away. Shonn Miller elevates and hammers it home. Skip for Miller. Some contact. Up and over. Taco Fall.
And efficiently turn those turnovers into points for themselves.
Miller, a little spin move in the lane, knocks it down, and UConn has the lead. 2 on Lawson. Miller banks it home over Goodwin. Fouls on Kraft.
But nevertheless, good defense by Goodwin.
5 to shoot. Purvis. That's good. 8:50 to go in the game. They're only 15 out of 26 after that last miss. And this is just too easy. UConn scoring from point-blank range.
Dribble penetration, that's been off the fast
like
break.
That.
And playing above the rim.
In the zone. And with UConn, Kevin Ollie talked about getting it right down into the paint, and he'll take it.
Shot clock did not reset. It doesn't matter. Shonn Miller with the one-handed jam.
Gibbs to Purvis. Purvis another transfer. Gibbs from way downtown. No good. But Miller. Oh, man.
I'm so jealous, Tom. I want some legs like that again. Young fella off the standstill. Way to go get it.
Did this for your time. I don't think I've ever felt this heights before.
What's so impressive, Tom, is he's just standing there. He goes up and
He's just standing there.
catches this. Didn't take a step, just took off. You know, naturally plays off the basketball, but this year you can see having to play a lot of point guard. And you can't give that up. Jeff Lupo is upset. He is screaming on the sideline.
And Enoch is the big man. Miller's spin move and the finish.
Knock down some threes.
Purvis, he tried this earlier in the game and he couldn't be converted. This time he can't, but Miller is able to clean it up.
Parts of his game, whether it's rebounding, dishing.
Miller, nice move to get free.
Constantly in practice, you're going to do it wrong in the game.
Sure. Anecchionia had it rejected.
And the offense will probably come very slowly for Amita Brima. It's his defense and rebounding that UConn really depends on.
Miller loves that move.
He comes when they need him.
Miller against Anecchionia. Miller again, wide open this time. Nice job by Purvis to drive and pull the defense to him, and then the kick out. Purvis tried to get it to Miller again. Miller operating down low, loves to use the glass.
Epitomizes what you established here with the UConn family about how he was kind of lost.
Man, I was a high school coach, I was a college coach. A lot of good things happen.
Because the Big 12 has a lot of veterans, and you saw that with Kansas today. Down the stretch, new veterans.
But it's a new half. Now you got to keep it up.
And also Tulsa with 10 turnovers. They only average 11 per game in conference. Just a disastrous first half.
Shonn Miller works with the right hand.
Baseline jumper rattles home for Shonn Miller.
With the 6th turnover, both teams with 6 turnovers, no real advantage in the points off.
Shonn Miller.
SMU staying with their man-to-man, and UConn still want to utilize Shonn Miller. And here in the second half, even though UConn tried to take him out of the game, Moore has scored or assisted on all.
Good head fake, and the little finger flip by Shonn Miller gets it to go down. Tough defensive team. Miller got it. 14-4. Wide open, Miller got it.
As I said, by the front line of Cincinnati. It's a new half and an opportunity to redeem themselves.
Miller double teamed in the lane, still manages to knock it down. Nice move.
That's a good start.
In the low 20s, and now they're close to 30% from the three.
Runner for Shonn Miller.
And only Napier's the only guy that has 2.
Isn't that something? In Husky history, of all guys. Here's Miller. Hits. 2-pointer for Shonn Miller. Miller up high, first off Shonn Miller. The inbounds play clicks for UConn.
You know, watch this. You got to know where the ball is. Too many times. Great article in the paper today.
Look out below. Miller again. Up and away. Touch pass, then goes behind the back, got sloppy in front of Kevin Ollie. He's going to come out of the game for that one, though. Murillo tied up by Miller, and possession goes the other way. How about the recovery and hustle for Shonn Miller?
His head back up, and he's in the game and was able to score.
Miller over Nunez on the baseline, converts.
On that Sunday, it's a struggle, but you got to play for your teammates. Is Miller one of the best at just creating a shot?
10 seconds on the shot clock. Miller from deep. Just his 8th three-pointer of the season.
Well, you know one thing about this conference tournament, it's going to be wide open, especially with SMU out of the picture. And that's a great athletic play. You know, one of the odd stats in this game, too, Andrew, is 17 guys have played for both teams. Only one guy has not scored.
And how about that? Miller right away for 2.
He's listening to you. You should get it to coach. Just shot over. That was good defense. Tough shot.
22 for Dotson, one off his career high. Adams cannot get it to go, but Miller does. The tip in.
He suffered from shin splints and leg problems almost all year long. Nick Moore back in.
Shonn Miller getting into the
yes, he did.
Block act there. You know, SMU, anything that you want to point out in a clinic, they've been able to illustrate.
Shonn Miller, nice post-up move. 16 points is the margin. Miller, boy, he can sky.
Now, what's so hard about that?
Off the dribble, gave it to Gibbs. Miller, the spin. And got the roll. The Ivy League transfer, Shonn Miller.
Your UConn, he is the one guy, although he has been struggling, you got to get a hand up on him. You don't want to give him wide open looks.
Shonn Miller. 4th dunk of the day for Taco Fall. Davis the challenge, and Miller still hits the leaner.
And Cincinnati is really taking control with block steals and overall just hustle. But here,
great play coming out of the second half with the lob from Hamilton. Miller backing in, wheels into the lane, got the roll. Nice move by Shonn Miller, who came in as a graduate transfer from Cornell.
In the game at this moment, Adams not yet.
Miller, nice touch. This is Miller's favorite spot on the floor. Likes to turn back in instead. Drives this time and got the basket.
Uses quickness against the Berry.
Yep.
All that glitters is gold. He earned that. One of the great shooters ever, though. Big stuff there by Shonn Miller, but pretty quiet to this point. Miller sizes up the jumper, and that one will go down. That's a two-pointer.
You know, interesting distinction. I thought right on target by Coach.
Williams off the fake. Now a tie-up on it. Hamilton really battling for it, and the possession arrow is UConn's.
But, you know, it's in a season where the top seeds, didn't always walk away, and in fact, in many cases, didn't walk away. Shonn Miller gets a jumper.
UConn off that incredible performance yesterday, 4 overtimes to defeat Cincinnati in a classic. Miller wriggling inside. Shonn Miller for 2, and they're cutting in again. Miller backing down low, trying to gain position, but can't get it to go. Wins back his own miss and lays it in. Adams around the D. The floating pass is stuffed in by Miller. That was gorgeous. Wow.
Might have hurt his finger on the rim.
Is UConn.
Watch Jalen Adams. They come with pressure. Well, I'm going to be a one-man press break. Get through 3 white jerseys for Shonn Miller. Watch how high he gets up. My goodness gracious. To be young, to be athletic, to be playing ball. Nice.
Getting as far as the semifinals. Did they do enough? The slam here by Miller. A little exclamation.
You did everything that was asked of you. Obviously, competition in the American.
Miller again. It's been a dunk show here in the last couple of plays. Miller on the block, drawing the double team. Needs some help to get out of there. What a move! He stepped right through it.
Yeah, this guy, he loves playing through contact.
It's been a wonderful tournament.
Thank you, Dave. And I want to compliment UConn and Memphis. I think it's been a nice run by Memphis as well as the Huskies.
Which is except Memphis. Good play.
What a start as Miller slams it down over the top of everybody. Purvis. Swung here for Miller and knocks it in right in front of the horn. Big 3.
He hasn't made many of those.